Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, dear students. This is Tariq Amin, lecturer, Department of English, Quart University of Science and Technology, Quart. A very warm welcome to the course of Functional English. This is lecture number 27, and our today's topic is strategies for vocabulary building. Lecture outlines of today's class include the first of all, we will discuss strategies for vocabulary building. The strategies are reading, repetition, words in context, prefixes and affixes, etc. So these are lecture outlines. In short, we would discuss the different strategies for vocabulary building in today's class. Yet we will discuss 6 to 7 different strategies. Okay, expansion through, first of all, we can expand our vocabulary through reading, repetition, and then words in context, vocabulary trees, and word walls, root words, prefixes and suffixes, synonyms and antonyms, word formation charts, word lists, and visual dictionaries and word games. In the previous class, we had discussed vocabulary. We had discussed aspects of knowing a word, and then at the end of the class we had discussed importance of vocabulary. And in the previous class we had discussed that when you say that I know a word, or when you say that the word is known to me, it means that you know its form, you know its structure, you know its pronunciation, you know its grammar, you know its collocation, and you know its meaning, you know its denotative meaning, you know its connotative meaning, etc. It means that you know its form, you know its grammar, and you know its meaning. And we had discussed that without having a good stock of vocabulary, without having extensive vocabulary, you cannot communicate your ideas, your feelings, your emotions with other people effectively. In order to exchange your ideas, in order to share your ideas with your friends, your classmates, your teachers, and your family members, you need to have vocabulary. You need to have word in a particular language. For example, if you are Pashto, you are native speaker of Pashto, you need to have good stock of Pashto word. And if you are learner of English language, first of all you need to learn vocabulary. You need to learn words of that language, that is English language. In order to improve your language, in order to your listening skills, your reading skills, your writing skills, and your speaking skills, you need to improve your vocabulary. The key to the development of language, the key to learning a language is to first of all develop vocabulary. If your vocabulary is developed and you know large number of words, you can express your ideas and you can learn a language better. And you can learn a language in a short period of time. So words are very much important in any language. And when you say that we need to develop vocabulary, we need to build vocabulary, we need to use different strategies that helps us develop our vocabulary, that helps us build our vocabulary. And we are going to discuss 12 different strategies with the help of which a particular person, a particular learner can build his or her vocabulary. And the first one is expansion through reading. You can expand your vocabulary through reading. You need to read more and more, and when you read more and more, you come across large number of words, and when you focus upon those words become part of your vocabulary. Those words become part of your long-term memory. Those words become part of your vocabulary. Reading is one of the best ways of expanding vocabulary. If you want to expand your vocabulary, you need to read more and more. You need to read newspapers, you need to read different articles in your cell phone, you need to read different books in your laptop, in your mobile, and everything. If you want to expand your vocabulary, if you want to learn more and more words of a particular language, you need to read more and more more and more books, more and more texts. highlight familiar vocabulary in one color and unfamiliar vocabulary with another color. When you read a text, you need to do two things. You need to have two highlighters. When you come across a word that is familiar to you, you need to highlight it in one color. And if you come across words that are not familiar to you, that are unknown to you, you need to highlight it with another color. For example, you can use red color, red highlighter for known words and yellow highlighter for unknown words, for unfamiliar words. And check unfamiliar words in dictionary after completing your reading or during the reading process. You need to check the unfamiliar words in your dictionary. You can use printed dictionary for it and you can use e-dictionary for it as well. You need to install different good dictionary, Oxford Advanced Learner Dictionary or Cambridge Dictionary or Merriam-Webster dictionary in your cell phone in order to check different unfamiliar words that you come across in different texts. And memorize and practice the new words. Okay, the key to success is memorize and practice new words. For example, if you learn a new word, you come across a difficult word and you do check its meaning, but you don't practice and you don't memorize it and you don't practice it, you will forget it. Because I've come across different difficult words and I've checked their meaning too. But still, when in other reading process or in other book I come across such words, it becomes highly difficult for me to memorize or to recall the meaning of those words because I haven't practiced those words. You need to memorize and practice the new word, the unfamiliar words, if you want to learn them. Now, expansion through repetition. Repeat, and just repeat. This has been written for emphasis purposes. If you want to learn a word, you need to repeat it. You need to repeat, and just repeat it. Repetition has a powerful impact on learning. Okay, the more times we are exposed to a word, the stronger our understanding becomes. The more you are exposed to a word, the more your understanding becomes. And it takes a minimum 15 encounters with a new word. 15 encounters, very much important part. It takes a minimum 15 encounters with a new word for a student to understand. First of all, to understand it, and then apply the word independently and apply the word in different contexts. So some people learn new words within 8 to 10 encounters or 6 to 7 encounters, but some students takes at least 15, minimum 15 encounters with a word to understand it and then apply the word in different contexts. Okay, we can expand our vocabulary through words and context as well. We have discussed the same point in previous classes as well, that we can guess the meaning of unfamiliar words from the context as well. So this is a bit similar to that lecture. Let's discuss this. This is the very best way to learn and teach vocabulary is in the very best way to learn and teach vocabulary is in context. And if you want to teach vocabulary, you want to teach words to students, the best way is to teach vocabulary in context. If you teach a word in context, the students will be able to memorize it and they will be able to apply it in different contexts. Until and unless you teach a word vocabulary in a particular context, the students will face difficulties in understanding the word and after that applying the word in different context, in using the word in different context. Do not select individual words. Teach words in context. It means that if you are using another strategy, for example, you have made a list of 100 words, 100 difficult words, and you tell your students to learn to memorize these 100 words. The students will be able to memorize. Some students might not be able to memorize it, but some students will still be able to memorize it. But after 1 month or after 2 months, 3 months or 4 months, they will forget it. They will forget almost 90% of the word, and they would be able to just memorize 10% of the words. This is not the best strategy. This is not the best strategy. The best strategy is to teach the words in different contexts. Teach them just 10 words, teach them just 20 words, but teach them the words in context. Context will help them understand a word, it will help them memorize a word, and it will help them apply the word in different contexts independently. Teaching vocabulary is in context is more effective. I've discussed the same point. Teaching vocabulary or teaching different words of a particular language within context is more effective. Okay, the next strategy is teaching through vocabulary trees. A graphic. So what is vocabulary tree? Vocabulary tree is a graphic organizer which can be useful in building vocabulary. It is actually building graphic organizer, and you might have seen different trees, vocabulary trees. It is like tree. Let's discuss it. It is used for finding relationships and making connections between groups of vocabulary words. And made up of a trunk. It is made up of a trunk, roots, branches, and leaves. And the trunk contains, in the trunk we write the main concept or a key term. And in the branches hold related terms, ideas, or examples. Okay, the vocabulary trees are very much important, and you can expand your vocabulary through vocabulary trees as well. You should search what a vocabulary tree is in the internet. You will see that it is like a natural tree. It contains a trunk, it contains different roots, branches, and leaves. And in the trunk, we write the main concept, we write the key term, or we write the main word. And in the different branches, we write its synonyms, we write an antonym, we write the related term to the word, we write the connotative meanings of such word, we write the denotative meanings of different words in the different branches. So this is also one of the helpful strategy for building vocabulary. Okay, word walls. We can expand our vocabulary with the help of word walls as well. Word wall is systematically organized collection of keywords from a unit of study. Now, unit of study can be your chapter, it can be your book as well. For example, your unit of study is cell. This is one unit of study. Now, you write the different keywords that are related to this unit of study, that are related to the the unit of your study, that is cell. You make a word wall for this unit of study, that is cell. You write different words for it. And word walls receive a prominent place in a classroom environment, and you can put that word wall in your class environment as well, in your class as well. They are usually front and center, large, and easy to see. These word walls are great places to put high frequency words throughout the year. I've given you the example of a unit of study, that is cell. For example, your unit of study is cell. Let me give you another example. For example, your unit of study is psycholinguistics. This is your unit of study. Now, you think of different keywords, different important words, different high frequency words, different momentous words that are related to the field of study, that are related to your unit of study, psycholinguistics. You think of different words, for example, 10 words, 15 words, 20 words, or 30 words. You think of 30 words that are very much related to your unit of study, psycholinguistics. And you write those 20 words, 30 keywords in the form of walls, and you put it in the form of, you write them in the form of walls. And whenever some other students come across those walls, those word walls, they learn it from them. And these words are also great place to put high frequency words throughout the year. For example, you are learning English language, and in your classroom you people write high frequency word in different walls. You can put different high frequency walls and words on that wall throughout the year, and students will learn it. And expansion through root words. Now, what are root words? Focus on teaching roots. First of all, if you want to teach vocabulary, you need to teach roots. And then roots can help in understanding new words meaning. If you know the meaning of a root word, you can guess the meaning of a full word that contains a root word that you know. So before teaching them the words, let's discuss it. For example, before teaching them the word useful and helpless, etc. These are just two examples. Before teaching the student these two words, you need to teach them you need to teach them use, you need to teach them you need to teach them what is use, and then what is help. If your students know the meaning of help, they know the meaning of help use, they know the meaning, their structure, they know their grammar, they know their form, and they know their pronunciation, they will be able to understand the words useful and helpless. Teach them the words. So use is one root word and help is another root word. They know the meaning of root words, they will be able to understand word having prefixes and suffixes. In this example, full is suffix and list is also suffix. Now, expansion through prefixes and suffixes. We can build our vocabulary, we can expand our vocabulary through learning prefixes and suffixes. First of all, we need to learn common prefixes and suffixes. You need to download, if you want to learn different words, first of all, you need to download a list of prefixes and suffixes. And you need to understand, you need to memorize the meaning of different prefixes and suffixes in different contexts. For example, different prefixes and suffixes gives different meaning in different words. So you need to know the different prefixes and suffixes and the different meaning that they give when they are attached to different words. Help in enriching vocabulary. This is obvious. For example, I, R, and in are negative prefixes. They are negative prefixes. If you know the meaning of the words regular and correct, you would be able to know the meaning of irregular and incorrect. You know the meaning of the root word regular, you know the meaning of the root word correct, and you attach the prefixes IR to regular and IN to incorrect. If you know the words regular and correct, and you know the prefixes IN, IR and IN as well, so you would be able to guess the meaning of irregular and incorrect. So similarly, suffix nix, nis, we have suffix nis, we have different suffixes, we have different suffixes such as nist, nis, full, etc. These are different kinds of suffixes, these are different suffixes. So we have one suffix nis. If you know the meaning of kind, you would be able to know the meaning of kindness as well. If you know the meaning of suffix nix, nis, and you know the meaning of the root word kind, you would be able to know the meaning of kindness, because this very word kindness contains a root word kind and a suffix nis. And if you know the meaning of the root word and suffix, you would be able to know the meaning of this difficult word. Now we can expand our vocabulary through synonyms and antonyms as well. And what are synonyms and what are antonyms? Synonyms and antonyms are fun and lively ways to learn new vocabulary and improve language skills. For example, okay, now what are synonyms and antonyms? Synonyms are words having almost similar meanings, and antonyms are words having almost opposite meaning. And the synonym of intelligence the synonym of intelligence are, this is intelligence the word, and its synonym are bright, smart, and gifted, etc. And antonyms of intelligence are stupid, dim, slow, dull, etc. When you learn a new word, you need to search its synonyms and antonyms as well. For example, if you come across a word, this very word intelligent, the intelligence or intelligence, this that is unknown to you. You need to search its synonyms and you need to search its antonyms as well. This will help you expand your vocabulary. You would be able to learn the man word, and after that you will be able to learn its synonyms and antonyms as well. So from just one word you can learn 10 words. Expansion through word list. There is difference between word wall and word list. Word list provides students with any keyword and make word lists of that word. You provide student with a keyword and you also provide them with different words list of that word. For example, deserts, mountains, oceans, rivers. For example, oceans, rivers, these are different keywords, bays, curves, etc. Now we can expand our vocabulary to word games as well. There are many word games with the help of which you can improve your vocabulary, with the help of which you can build and develop your vocabulary. Word games also improve our vocabulary, making the exercises fun and enjoyable. When you learn your vocabulary, learn different words through word games, it makes this exercise fun and enjoyable. There are a number of games. There are many games which you can utilize to expand your vocabulary. We are going to discuss just three types of games. The first one is hangman game. This is one word game. The second one is crosswords games, and the last one is Scrabble word game. Through these different word games you can expand your vocabulary. Okay, these are the differences. So before going into the differences, let's summarize the class. So in today's class we discussed different strategy that can be helpful in expanding vocabulary. We discussed that we can expand our vocabulary through different strategies. We can use different strategies for developing our vocabulary. We discussed that we can develop our vocabulary through reading. If you want to expand your vocabulary, you need to read more and more. You need to read more and more books. You need to read more and more newspapers. You need to read more and more text. If you want to improve your vocabulary, if you want to expand your vocabulary, if you want to develop your vocabulary, and after that you need to repeat the word. We can expand our vocabulary through repetition as well. When you learn a new word, you need to repeat it again and again. You need to memorize it and you need to practice it again and again. With practice you will be able to learn the word and you will be able to apply it in different contexts. And the next strategy that we discussed, or the next method that we discussed, was expansion through context. We can expand our vocabulary through words in context as well. We can guess the meaning of different difficult words from the context as well. And we discussed that the best way to teach vocabulary is to teach it in context. If you want to teach a particular word to student, you want to teach 10 words to student, you need to teach those words in context. If you teach different words in context, student will be able to memorize it, students will be able to understand it, and students will be able to apply the same words in different contexts. So this the best strategy to teach vocabulary is to teach in context. And we also discussed that we can expand our vocabulary to word list as well. You can provide student with a list of 10 words. You can provide student with a list of 10 keywords, and you can ask them to memorize the words. And we can expand our vocabulary through word wall as well. And I've discussed what a word wall is. A word wall is a kind of reading strategy where you can expand with the help of which you can expand your vocabulary. For example, you have a unit of study. I've just given you the examples of cell or psycholinguistics. Cell is your unit of study, and you think of different keywords that are related to your unit of study, and you write those words in the form of wall. Okay. After making a list of keywords that are related to your unit of study, you put the list on wall, and students learn the keywords from the word wall. And we can expand our vocabulary through prefixes and suffixes. Prefixes are the words that are prefixes are the word form that are, in other words, prefixes are the morpheme that are attached to the beginning of word, and suffixes are the different forms. These are the different morphemes that are attached to the end of a verb. And we can expand our vocabulary through prefixes and suffixes. For example, this is a prefix, in is a prefix, ir is a prefix, and suffix, the examples of suffixes are nis, full, etc. If we know the meaning of different prefixes and suffixes, we can learn different words through them as well. We can guess the meaning of the different difficult words, and we can expand our vocabulary through root words as well. Root words are the basic words. These are the base words. And if you know the meaning of a root word and you come across a difficult word that contains that root word that you know, for example, you come across a word kindness which is unfamiliar to you, but you know the meaning of the word kind. You know the meaning of the word kind, which is root word. You know the meaning of the word kind from this root word. You can guess the meaning of the word kindness. At least you can guess its meaning, and we can guess we can learn vocabulary through antonyms and synonyms as well. Antonyms are the words having opposite meaning, and synonyms are the words having similar meaning. We discussed intelligence, and we discussed its different synonyms, which for example smart, and we discussed its antonyms as well. When you come across a difficult word in your reading process while you are reading a book, you need to check the meaning of that difficult word. And if you want to expand your vocabulary more and more, you can search its synonyms, and you can search and its antonyms as well. It would help you improve your vocabulary. From just one difficult word, you would be able to learn 10-15 other words as well. So this is also one of the best strategy to improve your vocabulary, to build your vocabulary. You can improve your vocabulary through synonyms and antonyms as well. And you can if you want to improve your vocabulary, you need to install dictionary in your cell phone. All of us have different advanced cell phones, and we can't carry different printed dictionaries with ourselves. So the best way is to install different dictionaries. You can install Merriam-Webster dictionary, you can install Oxford Advanced Dictionary, you can install Cambridge Dictionary as well, and that provides Those dictionaries provide you with different services, provide you with the spelling of words, with the pronunciation of words, with the meaning of those difficult words, with the usage of those different words, and with the etymology of those words, those difficult words as well. You can check the spelling of a word in the dictionary, you can check its phonetic transcription, you can check its meaning, you can check its grammatical category as well. For example, you can check the grammatical category of the difficult word intelligence as well. You can check its correct spelling, you can check its usage, you can check its etymology. Etymology means you can check its origin, you can check its history, and you can check its antonyms as well, you can check its synonyms as well. So the best way to improve your vocabulary is to install an advanced dictionary. You can install the different, let me suggest you some dictionary. You can install Cambridge Dictionary, you can install Oxford Advanced Learner Dictionary, you can install Merriam-Webster Dictionary easily in your cell phone. References, these are the references. Thank you very much for listening to the video. Allah Hafiz.